Radiant team back.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the Dota 2 Canada Cup Season 6 Group C Tiebreakers. It is Power Friendship going up against Void Boys here, and what could be our last game of the evening. Will Void Boys take this game, take both of them, and then move on to play up against Elite Wolves? Or will it be Power Friendship forcing yet another game? And that third game could decide it all. Well, we'll have to wait and see as we will jump into the game. We're into the draft right now. Of course, my name is Mont. With me today is Mont Packs on Stats, the great guy himself. And of course, we also have Purge joining us here, doing some co-casting. How do you feel about Void Boys' chances here in their second game, Purge?
Reserve time.
Oh, God. All right. Well, you know what? We did the intro already. I thought I was unmuted. It turns out I was not unmuted. So, all right. Well, Purge, how do you feel about Void Boys' chances of winning this game and then moving on to the playoffs?
Before I answer that, I want to know how many seconds you gave, because you thought I was just messing with you.
3 seconds.
3 full seconds. Okay.
3 full seconds. Then I knew something was wrong.
Okay, good. All right, draft-wise, Earth Spirit's in the game, so that'll be a little interesting. And Vengeful Spirit as well are pretty good at the counter push and swapping heroes and killing them. But with Chen and Death Prophet, the push of Power Friendship is going to be really strong here, and that's a little scary, I think. They also first round banned the 2 heroes that Void Boys first picked in the previous round. I agree with the Void ban. I think it seemed to be a little bit too hard to deal with, and they are Void Boys, so Zeus pick, but for now I think Power Friendship has the better lineup starting things off.
Yeah, the Death Prophet obviously very strong. You can see if they maybe pick up an OD or somebody similar to try to deal with the Death Prophet, but she's also very good with pushing, and they also have the Chen for Power Friendship. And Wei2 has played this hero back in the qualifiers to great success. Void Boys not getting as lucky, unfortunately, and not making it, not having a great enough time in those qualifiers. And however, they can turn things around here with a win. Obviously, if Void Boys win, we will be done for the evening. We will not have our third and final game. It will not matter. We'll just move on with Void Boys playing up against Elite Wolves. If we do have a Power Friendship win, we will have to move on and see if Power Friendship can then again beat Archon and make it a 2-0, or if they will just play at a time and then that's what happens essentially. If we get to 1-1 apiece, we will go to time rating, including the group stages games, and as well as the tiebreaker games as well. So there's a lot at stake here for Void Boys, and dealing with the Death Prophet is going to be difficult. We'll see what they do to counteract that. Obviously, an Earth Spirit is good for roaming, and that's what I think a lot of teams did well against DP during the qualifying playoffs, is that they roamed on Death Prophet heavily. You can remember Ritsu getting shut down. There's a couple of games other players got shut down, so Death Prophet might get roamed out here, and Quap is picked up for Void Boys as a first pick here, or a third pick rather.
Quap pretty good at stopping pushes. I think that's the reason she's picked up, and more burst damage when you're against a Chen is very good. And Death Prophet as well, 2 heroes that provide healing. With the Siphon Soul, you can heal Death Prophet up. So if you could just burst her at the start of the fight, it would be really good for Void Boys. So I think that's why they went for that pick.
And the Disruptor to counteract that. Maybe also the Earth Spirit as well. The
10 seconds
Static Swarm, pretty good at silencing up some heroes, and it's very good against Quap. And they actually picked that right after the Quap came out, so maybe they had that in mind. It's like, oh, well, it works against Quap too. Like, they maybe hesitated a second or two before they picked it right afterwards. At least that's what it felt like to me. And now here comes the Sand Kid coming up from Void Boys, which... So nobody really played this hero in the qualifiers. You guys played it a ton.
Except for us.
Yeah, you guys played it a ton of the open qualifiers, with Milk playing it, a good 50% of his games, I want to say, maybe a little bit less, but
especially our first day, our first qualifier run, we played it so it was like a Sand King every single game. He's at a decent place. He's fairly strong. He's decent at roaming. He transitions a little better than he did in the past due to Aether Lens and Aghanim Scepter. Those 2 items allow you to have like an insanely long range Burrow Strike, and obviously applying Caustic Finale upon Burrow Strike is really good as well. So all good things for team fighting and counter pushing, and Void Boys' draft is all about doing AoE damage and doing burst damage, which is going to allow them to beat out Chen and Death Prophet in a way. So I think Void Boys has to be a little concerned about a Death Prophet Yules, because that could counteract a lot of that damage. But as long as they initiate with a stun, and they have a lot of them right now, then they can definitely burst her down at the start of the fight.
And they really do. There is some great crowd control coming up from Void Boys. I want to ask you about the laning coming up from Void Boys, because you have a Sand King, Earth Spirit, and Vengeful Spirit. Now, usually all 3 of those heroes are supports. Now, in this situation, one of those heroes is going to have to be a core. And what's the most likely situation for Void Boys? What core will they pick up? The Venge, the Earth Spirit core, or the Sand King core?
Probably Sand King, I
10
would say. They
seconds
have the
remaining.
possibility to put it in a 1v1 matchup, like Sand King safe lane versus Slardar is probably
5
not bad.
seconds remaining.
Sand King wins a lot of 1v1s, actually. Basically, any melee hero, he usually has an advantage. Against range heroes, not so
Reserve
much,
time.
but against melees, he can do caustic finale explosions when people are going in for last hits and stuff like that. So Sand King is more likely to be the offlane hero. He doesn't really function as a solo offlane hero, but if it's just like a disruptor +1, he can probably get away with it. It's a little dangerous, but
Dire team banned.
definitely an option.
Yeah, we'll see if he's going to be putting that offlane. Maybe harass the Chen out of the jungle a little bit as well with some sandstorms, some burrow strikes. Vengeance Earth Spirit, a very good dual roaming support combo. They have a lot of damage. There's some good armor reduction from the Vengeful
10
Spirit,
seconds
and a
remaining.
lot of utility from the Earth Spirit in terms of slows, stuns, silences. He's
5
got everything in the
seconds
toolkit.
remaining.
And I cannot wait to see what a good Earth Spirit player comes out with, because, and this was a big thing, and I think I saw this as well, is that Earth Spirit in the American qualifiers was 0-3. He was pretty good elsewhere, like in the, I think, Chinese and the
Radiant team
European
pick.
qualifiers. In the American qualifiers, he got trashed by just about every team. I mean, he was only picked 3 times, but clearly, even though it's a small sample size, not the best play for that hero so far from the
Yeah,
American.
it was weird to see the win rates of a lot of heroes be different in each qualifier. I'm not quite sure what it is. It might just be playstyle, maybe skill level overall. I think it's safe to say that the European teams as a
10
whole are
seconds
more skilled
remaining.
than the NA teams, but it's not too surprising considering they have like twice the
5
player base. So
seconds remaining.
it's much more likely that every team will be a bit better. So
I think that's fair. Plus, you have the
Reserve
god of Earth
time.
Spirit over in Europe, and Jirax. I mean, that guy is a monster at
Yeah.
that hero.
definitely one of the best Earth Spirit players, and he's one of the best support players as well at the moment. Maybe I don't want to put numbers on or anything, but I respect his support a lot.
I mean, I'm down for that. I don't think anybody would disagree with you there. Like, he is so damn good in the support role, and he makes that Liquid team what it is. So, looking forward to see more of his play over at the Major. But for now, will we have to see a Void Boys Earth Spirit actually come out on top in this game? That's what we're missing, is a strong Earth Spirit player in the American scene. They'll go for the Alchemist as well, so this is kind of an interesting lineup. There's a bit of greed, there's a bit of early game, a lot of armor reduction. Some good creep clear coming through with the Quap, but maybe not much else. Maybe the Sand King, the Acid Spray, but that's about it. And so, how do you feel about the Elk pick, last pick, Purge?
Minus armor is always pretty good, and there's a lot of really good Ags heroes on Void Boys. That's maybe one reason why
10
this is
seconds
looking okay.
remaining.
If they can transition this into the late game, or if they can put a lot of pressure on with those 4 heroes while Elk farms, then I think he'll be able to translate that into some really good benefits. Starting off with an Ags on maybe Sand King, and then focusing on his items instead. I think that's maybe what I focus on. It's going to be an offlane Sand King. They are going to have to worry about defending the pushes, and that's another thing Elk is good at. Acid Spray is going to mean that the creeps die very fast, and a really good way to deal with the Chen creeps, actually. Since the
true.
Chen creeps have lots of HP, you can't really deal with them by nuking. It's better if you do minus armor, that way the tower can clean them up. So a little bit of minus armor with the Vengeful Spirit, Wave of Terror, and the Acid Spray means that they are taking a massive amount of physical damage, and they should be able to delay the all-in push that Power Friendship is going to try to go with.
Yeah, there's a very good 4-man strategy from Power Friendship. You have the Morphling played by Snaking, farming up, and Snaking his love to go for these hard farming carries. He has not always had the success that he's wanted so far in the qualifiers. This is a chance to redeem himself, and hopefully for his team to give him some
Prepare
extra
for
room to
battle.
actually work with and find some farm across the map. So Snaking pops the mango right off the bat, which I'm sure was a mistake. I have absolutely no idea why he would use that otherwise. It's not like he used an ability, he hasn't skilled anything up, so that's a bit awkward. But
That's really kind of bad, honestly, because Morphling, he's gonna go for away from level 1 most likely, since he hasn't skilled yet. If you go for morph, you are gonna morph in base. So
oh my god, he's gonna ask for
Oh,
remake, dude.
no way.
No. I don't think that should be a thing.
No, that doesn't. No. Don't tell him what happened. Let the admin handle it.
Let me talk to some people here. Yeah, alright, there we go. Okay, Power
I'm glad
Friendship,
you
like,
caught that.
listen, that's not acceptable. That would have been really bad. I'm glad we avoided any sort of catastrophe. So, Mega
Yeah,
Corner.
I remember we did that in a game once too in Korea. Bambo accidentally skilled Enchant's Heal instead of Enchant at level 1, and we asked for a remake and they didn't give it to us. Which honestly is completely fair. Like, you can't make that kind of mistake. It's not fair.
Yeah, that's it. Just sucks for him to do that, for him to just eat that mango, but like that's not acceptable.
Yeah, I agree. It'd be a big waste of time.
Well, either way, it has avoided controversy, and now we will see a somewhat mostly standard game come out with the exception of one mango less on the Morphling. I'm a bit concerned about his ability to farm if they get some heroes up there. There's some really good roaming and ganking
30
squads from Void
seconds
Boys,
to
but
battle.
there is a chance that he'll be just able to get free farm, maybe get to an early Lincoln Sphere, get a shotgun on top of that. The Ethereal Blade will come out, and it's going to be Pat Soul coming against the Morphling, so this is a lot of safe lane farm for both teams, and I'm kind of excited who will come out on top.
Well, they're going to try to contest the top rune. They're going to have a Sand King with a Quap. Yeah, I think they can easily take this top rune. They've got such good early game heroes. I really like the composition of Void Boys. Just lots of stuns, lots of damage. Really straightforward abilities like that.
Tribute.
The other side of the map, Ush looks like he's the one playing mid. That is pretty typical for them. Whenever they do have Chen, it looks like it's Way2 that plays it.
Right.
And otherwise, Ush will be playing mid.
And he's going to be the Death Prophet. We'll see how he fares as he picks up the early bounty. He'll ferry out a Salve on top of that, so just some early regen, 2 Tangos, 2 Fairy Fires, a Salve. He'll keep himself alive if there's a roaming gank in, and hopefully it doesn't take too much damage. 747 might have a tough time. You could already see that the creeps are on the other side of the river. However, he did pull them down pretty effectively. He'll pop up the Shadow Strike. He'll do some right-click and a lot of that as well. But here comes the Spirit Siphon. It will be a little bit drained out, but now there's going to be the stun, or rather the slow one with the Rolling Boulder. He's got the Orb of Venom. He has a Fairy Fire. We'll use it as well. Shadow Strike might be enough. It'll be First Blood going for 747. It's a great roam from Chuan already. And they get First Blood for the Queen of Pain mid, which will accelerate her battle farm super fast.
Just shows you the value of Earth Spirit in the early game. That kind of crazy aggression that you can put on with Boulder Smash is amazing. It does 100 damage. It goes 1600 range. You can basically fly in from anywhere as long as you're a little bit slowed and you get hit by it. And then he's got an Orb of Venom afterwards to slow you extra. So you just have to fear this rolling boulder gank that can come at any time. And it gets a solo kill on Ush, and he doesn't even need experience for it. It's really strong.
Seems to have been able to deal with that. Maybe putting a ward here on the high ground on the Radiant side, or somewhere else, maybe towards the jungle over here. Shawan is setting it for another gank. They maybe need to get another Shadow Strike off. He got one, maybe looking for a second. Here it goes. Rolling Boulder will fly. The slow is up, and they're going to pop another one. There's the Boulder Smash Spirit Siphon. There's the Crypt Storm, the Fairy Fire. 747 might actually be in trouble. Pops his own Fairy Fire, and the last right click will go his way again, and that not only is his bottle, but almost his boots as well. He's not even CSing that well. I mean, maybe it's 5 last hits, but 2 kills going his way is a pretty great start for Void Boys.
Alright, your Earth Spirit still looks OP. that was really dirty what he just did twice in a row. Waited until he hit level 2, that way when he went in he would have a stun afterwards. And the double right clicks, obviously they can't match up against that. So that was pretty incredible. You can maybe criticize Death Prophet for only getting 1 point in Spirit Siphon. That's like maybe the only way that I can think she could have changed that up, but I don't blame her at all for dying.
It would have been close. I think it would have been a lot closer anyways, is what I mean to say.
Yeah, possibly. So basically being dual lane mid, but still not getting the experience sap, and that's probably the dirtiest part about this, is how much value you get from Earth Spirit with just 1 skill point.
Yeah.
Then he can have essentially a Blink Dagger with a slow, with the damage, and the Orb of Venom on top of that. Seems really dangerous.
He's already got his boots now, which is huge. You get the extra movement speed, we can roam around faster for ganks. They might look at top at some point. I mean, the Sand King is not really getting any farm. He's level 1. He's actually lower than their Spirit. They're going to go ahead and throw up the Thunder Strike. They do not have Glimpse, but it will zone Omega Punter out effectively. I mean, look how much damage he's taking. This hero is not that strong. They might have to start stacking creep cams for him in the jungle because he is not going to be doing very well in this top lane purge.
Yeah, the main reason that he's having a hard time is because Snake King's doing such a good job denying. If you get denies, it really hurts you in the off-lane setup. If you're just within experience range and they're denying, it's almost like you're not even there. It really impacts the amount of experience you get. So really nicely done by Snake King to make sure that he does focus on getting those denies.
Yeah, so he will hit his level 2 now, but I mean, you want that level 3, the Sandstorm. That's when you start farming effectively. They even throw down, I think, an Observer Ward here, so they will see when this camp is getting jungle, when the Sandstorm will come out. So Snake King is having a great time top, which is the first time I think I've said that this entire week. He's had a lot of trouble going up against some of these heroes, some of these players. Not have the cleanest safe lane farm for himself, but now he's up to 25. The Alk's only sitting at 19, and it's not like he's not getting free farm. He's only up against the Slaughter currently, so Snake King is off to a very fast start. And he'll try to catch up to the Queen of Pain mid.
Yeah, I wouldn't really blame snaking too much, though. It was a lot of aggressive dual lanes and things like that, so you didn't exactly have an easy stage against some of the teams like Complexity. So some of those dual lanes are just so abusive, like Bristleback plus Keeper of the Light or something like that. It's hard to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, and also, I mean, he picked Terrorblade. I wasn't a huge fan of that hero. It seems like he got shut down pretty hard in some of those games, but...
Yeah, that game was... I just didn't like Terrorblade that much as a pick in that game, so... Not always your choice, though.
The sprint will come through. They can't get in magic missile range in time. Rolling Boulder will go and actually just barely misses. I mean, MJW with level 2 sprint is too damn fast. Patsa will pause. Perhaps some ping issues coming through. He's already got the Soul Ring recipe. I thought for a second that was a Midas. It was like, there's no way that's happening at 4.5 minutes in, even with level 2 Grievel's Greed. And it looks like there is an AFK as Omega Poner was... maybe something was wrong, but he's okay now. But there's 3 heroes top lane now.
Yeah, Sand King's showing not to be the strongest offlane hero. He just has trouble not getting zoned. He's got low armor. His Sandstorm is a really long cooldown at level 1, so it's a bit tough. And now the push comes in. He's going to get experience here, but he might also lose his tower.
I mean, if he walks up, he's going to die. Snaking sees him. He's like, I don't want you getting any experience. And he'll just try to get in range. Meanwhile, mid lane, they go for the kill again. And Death Prophet goes down. I think this might have been a solo one for 747 popping up the Sonic Wave, so...
Nicely done by 747. Really shines on a much more aggressive hero. He played Medusa in the last game, and while he definitely farmed extremely well, heroes like Quap allow him to use his individual skill to push advantages against opponents and outplay them. So doing a nice job there in the mid lane.
So that is one good thing going their way. They have good mid lane farm, they have good safe lane farm. 747 is going to go ahead and scream up then, pop up the Shadow Strike as well to do some extra damage, and Ush still has that Spirit Siphon. He's not level 6 yet, so no exorcism. The push continues top lane. As the Sand King still wants to leech experience, he now has his level 2 Sandstorm. Do they have detection? Yes, they have a Sentry. And if Mario pops it down, Omega Poner is going to be in trouble. They drop the double Hadouken. They almost caught him there. There's going to be the Sandstorm. Will they drop this down? There it goes. He's going to walk away. He's got the Burrow Strike. Limps back. It's level 2. They can't get there in time. And they'll continue to put pressure top lane. But here we go. The Acid Spray on the deck. They'll stop the push of the Tier 2 tower. Surprised that Patzel rotated so early. But this will give some experience in that bottom lane. I missed another one. You've got to be kidding me. How many times are you guys gonna do this? 747, hello?
Damn, Ush must be tilted now at this point. Like, I would be really upset as well if I died to the Earth Spirit like he did.
Yeah.
But very, very tough here. They rotate to defend the tier 2 tower. It will go down here. Are they gonna deny? They won't.
TP in. They're gonna jump through the unstable concoction. Snaking getting sent back. Patzel will stun himself and actually almost bring himself down.
He might die.
He actually almost died because of the delay. Here's the Rolling Boulder, and they've got no Sonic Wave. Shadow Strike. They want to catch at least one hero, and it looks like it will be way too. He's going to try to TP out, and looks like he might. Can they get the Boulder Smash off? No!
Wow, he used it already.
Oh, on cooldown.
Went for the long-range Boulder Smash, and it missed, so wasted his skill a little bit there. That's pretty tough for Void Boys, but on the bright side, they've got 4 kills, so they're going to feel a lot better about that.
Yeah. I mean, 747 has Fred's 1,300 gold. God, you might as well just go for an early Aghanim set for how well you're doing. Maybe not. I don't know. But they've got to get Omega Poner back into the swing of things here. Level 4 now, so he's got 2 Burrow, 2 Sandstorm. He's got a couple of regen items, so he can Sandstorm effectively, take some of these camps down. He'll come out of the jungle with maybe like Arcanes that'll blink at some point. When that will happen, who freaking knows?
And it looks like Mario's just going to stand over here and be really annoying. Put the ward on the high ground, and this is going to allow him to split the experience. Which means Sand King gets a whole lot less out of what he's trying to accomplish.
And he misses a CS on the Centaur Courser too. So Mario gets some extra farm for himself. He might even get the Centaur Conqueror. He's definitely going to get the Centaur Conqueror, I'm pretty sure. Thunder Strike! Yep, he gets it with the last right click as well. So 2 free CS for him. And does that get him to 4? No, he's 3.5, but up to 900 gold now. So the offlaner, Omega Poner, trading his farm away to the Disruptor. Eesh.
And the experience. That's really nicely done by Mario there to control. He's almost completely zoned the Sand King. Sand King's gone very little. And really just showing why he's not a good offlane hero. He's okay, but certainly there's better options that could have done a better job at counter pushing, preventing the towers from going down and things like that.
Sand King has waveform again in like 5 seconds. If he stays, he might be able to get this kill. And Omega Poner,
he might just die already.
I think he is going to go down unless he can burrow out. The waveform actually misses. They're just going to chase him down with right clicks. One is Shreds, the other is Brown Boots, but somehow Snaking just not fast and will actually replicate to try to find this kill. He's going to go ahead and go. There's the burst strike. It's Sonic Wave. What a turn! Beautifully done. 747 was just waiting on the low ground, just jumps right in, and Omega says, I got my mango now, baby. You're dead. Easy kill coming out for Void Boys.
That's a really huge kill to get. Sand King's going to be able to get 6 now easily. Gank coming bottom though.
Ooh, Fly. He's level 5. He has his magic missile at level 3. He's gonna get glimpsed back in. Can he find a stun or anything? He's just gonna die to Slardar as the stun not even necessary for MJW, and they will start pushing down this bottom lane. Ush is like, I need to get involved. I'm right in the midway when it comes to net worth. Let's get a tier 1 tower. Let's start the push. Let's see what can happen. And now the question is, do Void Boys go ahead and defend or leave that tower to die?
I don't know if they can defend it. I mean, Quap's ulti is down.
Radiant's bottom
They don't have
tower
ulti on
is
Sand
under
King
attack.
just yet. I think what they do is maybe just push and push lanes. Like, PoF is going to take a lot of tower advantage this game. That's what their heroes do. But the gank advantage should go to Void Boys. It should look kind of similar to how the last game played out. Lots of gold advantage coming from the Dire team, but the Radiant team overall eventually has better team fight and has more ganks going on the map. So I think Void Boys is okay with this, just because they are getting much out of their lanes right now.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about 747. He's manning up a little too hard against Sand King. The rolling boulder will go through. The silence comes out. It's a little too late. Now they might lose Shwana as well. There's a glimpse back. The waveform will come first. Now the glimpse will go, and they have the kinetic field up as well. He actually walks out of it, but I think he's still going to go down. They're going to replicate back in. Blinks up. Slithering Crush is ready as well. They don't want to use it, and Shwan will fall. Very good. 2 quick kills, and that is a big pickup for Snaky. That is a mega kill spree. He bought Treads. He bought a Void... Ring of Health rather, and a Void Stone, which is on the courier. So his Perseverance is done. Plus Swan, plus Aquila, and he's up there now. He's good to go.
Yeah, and they're going to push out mid now. So not the best little engagement for Void Boys, but on the bright side, they are still getting a bit more out of their other heroes. Alchemist picks up a fast armlet, pretty standard build in the safe lane, just because it accelerates him a bit, and he's going for a 2-2-3 build, so not all in on Grievous Greed like we usually see out of the carry Alchemist. But I think this might transition nicely. I think I still kind of would like to see a Radiance, but I don't think it's the build this game. He's going to have to deal with a lot of minus armor and right-click damage, so he should probably just go the stat gank build. Like Sons of Yasha, maybe a Blink Dagger, stuff like that.
No Treads yet. Might go for maybe a bit of a greedy Butsu Travel, or he's just saving up as he wanted to get the armlet early. I don't think he has anything flying out. No. That is a smoke and a couple of wards for Fly. So 747 is getting towards that Aghanim Scepter. He had 2 components, and actually he was, I think, halfway to his 3rd, but he died towards that snaking mid gank. And instead they will now just split up the map, continue to farm, try to get this Blink Dagger up for a Mega Opponent, and he was relatively close. He's sitting up to 1,400 gold now, so he's not that far off. Meanwhile, I mean, you have the offlane Slaughter, who has that plus Tranquils and a wand now. There is a Headdress for Weitu, who's having a great game so far. So there is a bit of an advantage for Power of Friendship, like you talked about, but will that turn into maybe Void Boys just outplaying them in the later stages of the game, maybe getting a couple of kills? Shwan is almost going to have level 6. That might be another point for them to go.
Well, what's been clear is that Void Boys' teamwork in the early game is decent, but not amazing. And I think PoF is showing that their teamwork is very, very good in the early game. They organize for a lot of kills and ganks and things like that, as you can see now. The smoke going on here. Might be able to get a kill on Susie here. He's got to wait for the Thunderstrike to go away before he blinks, and there's the glimpse.
Sonic Wave is just going to kill Mario instead. Hand of God's too late for Weitu. And so 747 says, screw the blink. Damn the torpedoes. It's time to scream of pain and Sonic Wave, and that will give him yet another component for his Aghanim Scepter.
Well, he's going to be pretty happy about that. Casually farming neutrals, and then you get a hero kill. Omega Poner almost has his Blink Dagger as well. 4 levels in Sandstorm right now, 1900 in the bank. Once they get the Blink, then Void Boys is going to be more willing to fight, because then they can do epicenters in their fights. PoF is happy to force right now, though, because they have the Slardar with his Blink Dagger, so they will continue to push and look for kills, and hopefully for them, they stop getting ultied by Queen of Pain.
Rolling Bloater, jump in, they get the silence off on Ush. There's the kinetic field just to stop the swap out. Ush in trouble, Magic Missile will fly, Spirit Siphon, Wave of Tear. Can they bring him down? Finally, they will do so with 747 and Schwan getting the last 2 right clicks. And Fly, with the great setup coming out with the swap, does a nice job there. Are you lagging too, or is that just me?
I seem fine.
Okay.
I'm lagging.
I don't have any drop frames. That's a good sign, but I don't know what the dealio was there for a moment. But all right, well, all's good. Everything's good.
Patzel continues to farm up to 1800 gold. Hasn't been a part of any kills yet. His net worth is actually not the highest, surprisingly. But I guess it makes sense if you don't participate in fights. Morphling, surprisingly, well, he just passed the leader,
right,
which was
yeah.
Morphling. Morphling actually in the lead, surprisingly. Great game for
Radiant's
snaking.
bottom tower
Yeah,
is under attack.
he died early, and I thought, okay, here we go again. But Snaky picks up that kill on the 747 mid, which is very important. I mean, that got him maybe not back in the game, but it gave him some extra farm that Void Blaze would rather have not given him. Speaking of extra farm, the Blink Dagger is now done for the Sand King. Will they go for a smoke reveal? They will TP mid. They will look for a fight. The smoke, I think, is already done. I think they used it. Maybe, I'm not sure. They're looking for maybe Ush on the high ground. No ward coming out for the Radiant except for over here on their own high ground. They'll drop a sentry down. That will de-ward this, but there's another ward, which is a little bit over towards that top rune spot. In the jungle, Mario was looking to put down an aggressive ward. He got it.
Ooh, he spotted the smoke. Did they see? I didn't see any pings, so I don't know if they saw the smoke happening.
I don't think they saw it.
I think they were standing in this position when the smoke came out, so they didn't actually see the heroes disappear from the map, and they needed their eyes to be there for them to spot the smoke.
Well, either way, he knows there's nobody else mid now anymore, and they haven't walked into the jungle. So everybody's off the map for Void Boys, with the exception of roughly 2 heroes. So this gank will pretty much get nothing done unless they swing all the way back around mid, get Ush, and I highly doubt that's the case. And that would stop his Yules from coming out, and that's just so good at this point.
Well, on the very least, they do get another Observer Ward down. That is part of smoke ganking. Oh, cancelled TP from Earth Spirit.
That's not good. Now
I think they spotted the Death Prophet mid and they want to kill her.
Yeah, but Ush is already walking down towards the bottom rune spot,
and the ward spotted them shifting over, I think.
Yeah, this ward. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they might just try to trade. They don't have great push. They're going to lose their tier 2 tower bottom. And now the smoke comes out of Power of Friendship. This is the second fastest Ags versus Quap of 6.86 out of 24 games, so... that's not super surprising to me because there hasn't been that much Quap, as you can see. 24. Hold that thought. Jump and crush out of 2. Kinetic Field. Static Storm. Beautifully done. Can they save them? Schwann in trouble. Sonic Wave. It's on to 2. They'll lose 2 already, though. The Hand of God comes out. Now the Epicenter. Burrow Strike in. They'll get 1. They cannot pick up Snaky. He's just going to morph up and just be too tanky. There's the Ensnare. Glimpse back in. They're going to lose 3, it looks like. And they want to keep fighting. They will get off the Unstable Concoction, but another great Kinetic Field. Snaky's going to go right back in. Pops up the Replicate. And it's just a 3-for-1 plus a tier 1 tower trade purge.
Yeah, that setup was really good. The stun on 2. At first I was like, it doesn't seem that amazing. But when they followed up with the Disruptor ultimate and the waveform on 2 heroes, man, that's just so much damage in it. Put PoF in a really good spot. Quap did do her ultimate combo, but it just didn't really do that much. The Epicenter did finish off the Slardar, but obviously a very good trade for PoF. Grabbing a tower there and now getting rushed with their kills.
Yeah, Exorcism, they'll drop down the amplified damage. There is now a Lincoln Sphere up for the Morphling. This is not even going to be close to contention. Even if they were aware, there's absolutely no way they get there in time. And the Aegis will now be picked up for the Morphling on top of all of that. And so there was maybe a good spot for Void Boys. They had an okay 1,000 death deficit, but now they're going to maybe lose the spot as well. Silence goes. It's a bit too early, and 747 just blinks away. That could have been another kill. Snaky's just going to wait for him, and they're going to keep pressure on this tier 2 tower. Glimpse back, that'll be onto 747, but there's no Static Storm available, and they won't use that. They won't use any of their abilities to go for that kill.
Well, we'll see if they hang around. Void Boys have to wait for at least Epicenter for themselves to fight again, and with that, it's about 48 seconds off cooldown. So once that's up, they can go for kills, but as of now, they're kind of just passively farming. Patsol's up to almost relic range. We'll see if he does get the relic. He does.
Yeah.
I kind of like this. It's a little scary against a Morphling because Morphling will make a replicant of himself, but the Radiance is really the item that farms you really fast, and the problem with that build is normally you're too tanky or too squishy, but Armlet offsets that. It's a very inexpensive item. It's only about 2,300. It gives you damage, it gives you HP. Yeah, it gives you some minus regen, but the important thing is the armor and HP that it provides you. So I kind of like this Armlet straight into Radiance build. It's going to make his Radiance a little bit later than normal, but it will allow him to actually be stronger in a 1v1 fight, and that's what Alchemist needs to do. He can't just split push all day with Radiance. He needs to eventually fight with his team.
Oh, the lag is starting to come fast and furious for me. Time to turn off a couple of programs and see if that changes things back up for the better. But the early Armlet pickup will make him a bit more tanky. And then he'll get to the Radiance, maybe pick up the Boots of Travel afterwards. So he's clearly going for a more hard farming build. How does that go in the late game for the Alchemist? Like, let's say he gets a Radiance. Let's say maybe he goes for a more split push oriented build. What's the point? What does he do later on down the road?
Well, I don't think it's about late game. It's more about as he gets his Radiance. This build is basically super strong as soon as he has Radiance, because he's going to have 5 armor. He's going to have an extra 500 HP. That's why it'll be good. He's got his Radiance ready now. He will be flying the recipe out, and now is when Void Voice is going to fight.
And they do have good vision from a Make opponent down here in the jungle. And there's going to be the Boulder Smash. Burrow Strike comes out as well. The Epicenter getting channeled up the Sonic Wave. Can he blink forward? He will. And Waitsu might have to actually just hightail it out of here. The creeps will get Hand of God. And now here comes the Exorcism. This might be the bad time to fight. MJW in the tree line. Scream and Pain will go. And they're actually going to lose one, maybe two. Schwan, the Exorcism Ghost, will chase him down and say, I don't think so. We want that kill. And another 2-for-1 trade. Again, going for Power of Friendship. They were just too fast on the draw. Getting off that Exorcism Ush, wrapping around the Hand of God, keeping up those creeps alive. Maybe not the best Epicenter for Void Boys either, but what's done is done.
Yeah, I think they needed to initiate a little differently. They needed to start with waiting for 2 heroes to be close, and then Burrow Strike into Boulder Smash with the Epicenter, and then they would have gotten 2 kills instead of just the 1. They were a little greedy to pursue after the Chen creeps. The Chen heal came out and healed them completely, and then they were just way out of position. Not to mention the fact that Alchemist just wasn't there yet. He had just gotten his Radiance a moment before, so if he was there, they could have fought that, I think. Maybe just killed Death Prophet with a couple right clicks, but, you know, they should have been a little bit less greedy and played it safer.
Yeah, I think that's definitely true. The Midas is now done also for the Slaughter, so it's looking more and more likely that Power of Friendship will be able to take a couple of these towers, maybe a fight or two.
Dire's top tower is
Movement to Araxin. Well, already they get the Slithering Press to Static Storm onto 2. Good Boulder Smash to stop MJW. Fly into Triple Sonic Wave. Actually almost bringing him down. The Scream of Pain will, but it's still a 1-for-1 trade. Now they're going to jump with the Magnetize. Can they get Snakey? He still has that Aegis. They'll break the Lincoln Sphere. Here's going to be the Burrow Strike. Snakey, does he have a Replicate? He's going to get Scream of Pain. He's just morphing too fast. They can't kill him. There's the Adaptive Strike stun. Now there's going to be another Burrow Strike in 2 seconds. Can they get the Unstable off? They have it now. He's going to charge it up. He's not going to be back up alive. They're going to try to kill down the Replicate. They will do so, and Snaking is going to just wait for him away. He'll TP out. They don't have a stun here. Boulder Smash is too late to the party. That fight, that kill would have changed things for Void Boys. Sadly, they cannot pick up that second kill on Snaking.
It's just the problem with the Radiance that... Oh, he might... The problem with the Radiance is you make a Replicant and then you're fighting against your own Radiance burn. That's just too scary. They're going to chase after the DP, though.
Oh, good TP. Good
juke
side
spot.
step. Yeah, really good stuff.
So he'll be just fine here. Alchemist is maxing out as stun next, so he'll still be very, very strong throughout the game. He still doesn't have any assists or kills yet, but he is farming very well. Not quite top of the net worth, but comparable.
I think he's keeping this game even. Well, him and the Quap also. I mean, obviously you have your 2 supports doing very poorly. I guess the Earth Spirit is kind of close to the Disruptor, but the Sand King is nowhere near MJW. I mean, he's 2,000 off of that Slardar. Of course, the Midas is going to accelerate things as well for MJW, so that's the biggest issue. Sure, the Alk should be the biggest hero at some point in this game with Greevil's Greed and with the Midas, and maybe if it gets a Manta Style or what have you. But for now, it's going to be them behind by about 5,000 net worth, which is not that bad. It's just that they don't have ways to kill these heroes, especially with Aegis, especially with the Lincoln Sphere. It's so tough to bring down PoF's lineup, especially also with the mech as well as Hand of God.
Yeah, they can do it, though. They've got the teamfight ultimates. They just need PoF to be a little bit grouped, and they need to initiate ideally. If they can do that, they can definitely win fights. And there's no really super OP spell like Chronosphere in this game, so that'll make things a lot easier for them to do.
So they just need that one good team fight. However, mid lane, they're going to find Snaking. They're going to jump out of the Burrow Strike. He's got the Replicate. He's going to get stunned up. Morph Strength, it'll just jump out. It was a good effort, but Snaking just too tanky with that Strength Morph. It's impossible for him to go down, it looks like, when he has that Lincoln Sphere up. It's just so difficult. God.
Yeah, the Lincolns got broken on the bench stun. Might have actually been better to throw Unstable Concoction first, due to it being a lower time stun, and also Patzel was a little bit late there. Maybe he could have gotten more stun duration, and they would have killed the Morphling. But Venge Stun would have just nuked through all of that and would have been very strong. So, I don't know. Might have just been better for them to wait a bit longer on Unstable or organize it faster. And it looks like Elk is actually going to go for a Manta Style next. I think this is pretty straightforward, the right build when you get Radiance, but it's even a little bit better when you have Armlet, since you are increasing your strength, which makes your illusions hit harder. So I really like the Manta Style build this game.
Yep. The tried and true, the good old Raze.
Oh, what an outplay. See this outplay? Check out this illusion.
It's got the Radiance off.
Exactly. He turned it off
yep.
and baited him to use Replicate on him. And then he turned his Radiance back on. So he
It's
basically just wasted Morphlings.
It's the little things.
That was such a sick play. I've never seen somebody do that. Really smart thinking.
I mean, because you look at Radiance burn and how quickly it can burn down a creep wave, especially at this point in the game. And you're like, well, alright, but That's not going to be the case. He's going to go ahead and kill the replicate rather easily anyways.
Yeah, now he's in the mind of Snake King. Every time Snake King goes to do that, he's going to have to click on Alchemist to check to see
He's tilted.
whether his Radiance is active. But the scary part is that Alchemist can easily toggle it way faster than Morphling can, so it makes it a lot harder for Morphling to deal with that.
That's kind of
Really cool play.
Yeah, it's the little things that count. Epicenter will go. Might get canceled. Thunderstrike. The Burrow Strike comes out as well. Mario in trouble. Shiva's Guard will fly. They'll jump in. Sonic Wave will go. Static Storm's onto the one. MGW in trouble. They'll lose 2. Can they bring down these creeps? Can they bring down others? Ush will get swapped back, and I believe now 747 in some trouble. He's got backup with, of course, the heroes here, but he can blink away if necessary. Sonic Wave's available, but he does not want to fight this.
Maybe fight.
They're thinking about it. They do have Chemical Rage. There's gonna go. Ush might get caught out. He pops the Invis rune. Do they have detection? The answer is yes with 1 sentry, but they clearly do not care.
My waters rise.
Okay.
Oh, he had Ice Armor as well.
I mean, that's a very good fight. I mean, look at the net worth graph and how that changed after that fight and after the last couple of minutes. Like, they're coming back.
Yeah.
They're getting back into this game.
They definitely are going to. Not necessarily saying they're going to win necessarily, but just a couple kills like that are going to make a big difference. And really, Void Boys have the better way to initiate. They've got Sand King, they've got Earth Spirit, they can do swaps, they can do just general run in and fight kind of stuff. Whereas PoF has to be a lot more tactical. It almost always has to start a fight with a Yules on Death Prophet, or it has to be a Slaughter Stun, or it has to be a Disruptor Glimpse back. So their ways to initiate are a little bit harder.
And the Slaughter Stun will be a bit better here as the BKB is about to come out here. The Ethereal Blade goes onto a creep. Good try, Snake King. Maybe you'll get it next time. Omega Partner's just going to go ahead and Sandstorm up and not give a damn about it.
Yeah, the Sand King Sandstormed at the same time. It's actually very hard to land the Disable on Sand King due to the fact that if he just pops Sandstorm, he's gonna stop the projectile. I believe that E-Blade should be stopped by that.
All right, so there is an Aether Lens now on Schwann. He gets a boulder down. He can rolling boulder literally across the screen. It actually is further than across the screen as far as I can tell. That's pretty insane.
Well, that's a replicate. They could die here. Okay.
So I talked to Aosin about this, I think, or he was saying it at the Mafia LAN, and he was saying how like Aether Lens might be the item. I mean, I don't know how much of an Earth Spirit player he is. I don't know what he knows about the hero, but
I don't think he actually plays the hero.
Okay. Still though, I'm down.
What was he saying? That it's like a really good Earth Spirit item?
Yeah, he's saying it was good. I think.
Well, it's good because he needs a mana pool, so that part's pretty nice. He doesn't have that much casting over time, so it's okay. It doesn't give him regen. Gives him spell resistance. That part's really good because the hero is pretty naturally tanky, and the cast range is not bad either. Longer boulder smashes is not terrible. Things like that. You can also cast the Stone Remnants even farther. That part's really nice. So if you're chasing people, you can continue to refresh the Magnetize.
Yeah, I
think that's one of the nicest things about it. And just the overall 8% spell damage amp is good when you're doing.
Yeah, I never thought about it that way. But you make a good point. Well, we'll see if it works out. I mean, will they run into the Sages? There's also an Octarine Core not picked for the Death Prophet, as if, you know, she didn't have enough already. There's an Observer Ward that will run by, but obviously they're looking for MGW, and they will most likely find him. Blink Burrow will come through, the Sandstorm will jump up, and they'll get the easy kill. You see that pull range, too. I mean, it's a little bit, but damn, it looks big, that radius.
Yeah, that's way better than it was previously.
Alright.
Yeah, just a long-range silence like that can start your fight off amazing. Oh, there's Eels. They're fighting.
Exorcism. Patzel has the Chemical Rage. He will get silenced and Manta out of it. He'll pop that Chemical Rage. Spirit Siphon will go.
Nice. Turn Radiance
go
off.
ahead and just boulder smash and try to leave as quickly as possible. Ush has a double damage rune. Patzel might be in trouble. There's going to be the Burrow Strike. They're actually going to find Mario. They will drop the Magnetize. No Static Storm.
They can fight
They're going
now.
to turn this. Ush might be in trouble. No Aegis Sonic Wave blown up across the map. It's Staking now. He's got to retreat. Burrow Strike will fly. Hand of God will go, and he will be able to maybe replicate back. They're so close by. They'll get sent back. Do they have the damage? The answer is no. As he's waveforming, he will get sent back, but it does not matter. Void Boys blow up Ush. And that's a huge kill going their way.
Man, this Patzel guy is pretty good.
Yeah, I know.
He actually turned off his Radiance for that entire fight until he knew that things were getting serious, and then he just started hitting the Death Prophet. And you might be like, man, that makes Radiance really wasted, but it's like, it's still 60 damage. It still hits very, very hard. And he used it just to kill Death Prophet. Death Prophet got a little overconfident in her ability to fight Alch, but they just don't have enough damage to kill Alchemist right now. He's regenning 100 HP per second, and he's got an armlet to tank himself up and to give himself more max HP.
I mean, can you imagine if he gets another tanky item, whether it's Octarine, Heart of Trask, maybe like an SNY still? Oh, he's not going to go SNY now.
Don't say Octarine. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge fan, but
It's definitely not the item. He grabs,
What did he buy?
I'm not sure. Maybe
Travel.
AC
He
would
bought
be okay.
bots. I'm down for that too.
Could
That's
go
very good this
maybe.
game, actually.
No, you can't go Sunshine Yasha because he's got Manta.
Yeah.
AC would be probably the most ideal to resist his damage to both Morphling and Slar. He still does have to worry about the one shot coming out of Morphling, and that's really the
Sonic Wave.
that might get a kill.
There's going to be the kinetic field. Shiva's guard will go. It actually just misses on MJW. Now you have to think about backing up your Void Boys. Pat Soul got there quick. It even bots in. He's going to just drop down the acid spray. And that'll be Sonic Wave down for another 60 or so, but that's not a huge... Actually, another 40 or so, rather. So it's not a huge deal. Be back up pretty soon.
So yeah, that's what Petzl has to basically do is evade getting his Radiance burn stolen, and he can just go split push and continue farming items until he's so strong that he actually just beats anybody in a 1v1. I think an AC Abyssal is going to be his best item build. That would allow him to basically kill any hero solo very, very easily. His mobility is already really fast, and his DPS will be really good at that point.
It gives you the best of both worlds, both tankiness and damage
Dire's
in
top
terms of
tower
both of those
is under
items.
attack.
However,
And farm speed.
he might get ganked. It's actually Fly that's going to get targeted. A support, I don't know if Void Boys really care that much. He is down for 44 seconds, so that is a bit frightening. But Patsoul is pushing into the tier 2 tower bottom with Omega Poner. They will have to just go ahead and get out of here as quickly as possible with bots and a Blink Dagger maybe from Omega Poner. Can
Dire's
TP
top
out himself
tower
as
is
well.
under attack.
They're heading towards
he's
it
gonna-
instead.
I thought they would hide in the trees and wait to see who comes to
Radiant's
defend it
middle
and then
tower
kill them.
is under attack.
So they definitely can do that with just the two of these heroes. I think that's why they're still here.
Radiant's middle
There's also
tower
a sentry
has
ward on the
fallen.
high ground, so they're going to feel semi-confident that there's not a ward there. But at some point, they're going to have to say, okay, they're pushing, we actually need to go back.
Dire's bottom tower
They
is
did
under
just that. They
attack.
TP'd away. Top lane, Glyph is available. Siege Creep will almost bring it down. It actually does. They don't Glyph it
Dire's
back up.
top tower has
Keep that
fallen.
safe and sound. Still down
Dire's
bottom is
bottom
going to be
tower is
Omega
under
Poner.
attack.
I think they got that tower. No? Something else was taken instead. Might have just been that. I misheard. It was just that tower top lane that I talked about earlier. Okay. And so they'll keep their tier 3 tower alive. Power Friendship will back away. Maybe a smoke coming out from Void Boys if they want it. Instead, they're going to push out the wave, and it is going to be the item choice you were expecting. As they already have the Shivas, they'll go for the Assault Cuirass on the Alchemist, and no shocker there, really.
So they continue split pushing, I guess. Still no fights.
Regeneration.
Both teams just have to be really scared about fights starting in advantage of the other person. Whoever initiates first gets a massive advantage.
Yep.
So it's basically going to be chain stuns and the silences.
They're going to find a replicate. They're going to bring it down. Snaking
Oh,
jumps
Snaking goes
in, and
in.
now he wants a Mega Poner, and they're going to find it maybe. Slithering Crush will come out. Patsoul in trouble, not healing up as fast. Maybe they're going to drop the Magnetize. They'll get it onto one. Hand of God will go. They've only lost the Snaking right now. They're about to lose Schwan on the other side as the Kinetic Field will go, and the Creep Swarm will take the kill, along with the right click of Snaking.
Yeah, it was a really nice fight start there for PoF. Again, they continue baiting the Morphling illusion, and Void Boy thinks that it's real, and they used a lot of spells on it, and then he's able to jump out and force a ton of damage on the Sand King. And they, again, Mario's positioning has been really good. He's always getting the ulti follow-ups as the initiations start. It's hard to do a lot of times as a disruptor, but he's just casting it on the ground and he's getting the kills, or at least contributing to the silence.
Here's the Exorcism. Magic Missile will do some damage. There's the Wave of Terror. There's the Unstable Concoction. He'll use it so that he actually doesn't take the damage. And Pat Soul is going to go ahead and pop the Chemical Rage, clear out this Creep Wave. Gonna try to split push for the time being. Is down bottom. MJW Slithering crushes the wave and then blinks out. His BKB has gotten sidetracked very heavily at the Ogre Club, and he was doing really well for himself for a while. And then he just died a couple of times in a row and has not gotten to that BKB yet. And they will keep their tier 3 tower alive. They pop the Exorcism for nothing for Power of Friendship, and they'll back away. Patso actually, I think, was about to TP top lane, then saw the push coming in. And he's like, I'll just stay back mid and defend with the team.
They do steal the Radiance on the
Dire's
Alchemist this
middle
time,
tower
so
is under attack.
more split pushing from that. They really need to kill this tier 1 tower in the middle, and ideally the other two tier 2 towers. That way they can have equal Rosh advantage as their opponents, because right now it's a little easier for PoF to take it, since they do have buyback potential in those areas.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Stinking going for the easy kill.
He's gonna get it easily.
He doesn't have his ulti though.
They will pop the Veil. He's gonna go ahead and just Manta out. And, just wanted to have some extra damage.
Dire's middle tower
Burrow Strike,
is
that's the
under
only
attack.
Conspire. Now the Scream of Pain. Sonic
Oh, he
Wave
might
to go.
die.
Oh, the waveform,
Oh.
but still he gets hit up with it with the edge. However, it's not enough damage as Snaking will go ahead and get sent back. He's playing this so dangerously, but he does stay alive. Now the Unstable Concussion. There's going to be the Acid Spray. Radiance is going, but they silence him up. They stun him as well with the Slithering Crush. And no further aggression from Bat Soul.
Yeah, there's no stones left on Earth Spirit, so he can't chase or fall up there. Really makes his hero a bit useless when he spams his Magnetize a little bit too much. And that's the scary part. PoF has so many heals, the Magnetize doesn't seem to do that much damage, because it is damage over time. Sure, it lasts a long time, but if you're just getting completely counteracted by a mech and you have to use 3 stones for that, then man, you're gonna quickly be out of valuableness.
Agreed. Your spirit is good when played correctly. Not saying he is playing it incorrectly, however, it requires a little bit of finesse and I think foresight into seeing what you're going to be able to do next. Patso will grab the Assault Cuirass, which I think is a great item choice, and I say this almost every time I see an Assault Cuirass. It might be the item that changes things, maybe turns things around for Void Boys. Maybe he still needs that Basher, that Abyssal Blade, or he can go for another item. And I'm totally fine with that. But right now, Power of Friendship, they're looking for the next Roach. They're going to wait for that, and they're going to go with the Aegis of Cheese if they can get it, and they go to high ground.
That will give them a really good advantage, especially because it seems like right now PoF has better poke and prod. Like if they do a Morphling combo, for example, they're not all in on using that spell. But when Void Boys goes in, they have to use Magnetize, they have to use Epicenter, and things like that. So it's a little bit easier right now for PoF to start a fight without fully committing to it. That's making it hard for Void Boys to feel comfortable.
And they can kite a little bit with the Morphling. The Death Prophet's very speedy. They have now an Aghanim Scepter for the Chen, so that gives them the Granic Golem, which makes them tankier. And also he has the Ancient Thunderhide, which now gives them the Frenzy, which gives them the extra bonus attack speed. So Power of Friendship, I mean, you look at the net worth graph and it's like, okay, it's like 1,000 at 34 minutes in, which is nothing. It's pretty much nothing. But if Power of Friendship get the fight they want, it will go their way. I mean, Void Boys are not that strong yet.
They have like all the best auras on Chen actually, like attack speed aura from the Hellbear, then attack and damage speed from the Thunderhide and the HP, and then they have the Alpha Wolf. Like this Chen could actually like solo a hero right now just with his own right clicks, I think.
Yeah, that's frightening. That's not ever a thing I want to hear. Dear Lord. And there's also Nathan Lins now for the Disruptor. Look at the range. No Axe, obviously, but Pat Soul bought the BKB, by the way, so he said, okay, I'll get tanky. I won't go for any more extra damage other than what the BKB gives me. We'll see how this works out.
It's really good because Void Voice has so much magic damage, basically. It'll stop Radiance Burn, it'll stop Burrow Strikes, it'll stop any magnetized damage. Things like that will be great. And there is the Hex, ready for Queen of Pain. That's going to be very useful for trying to kill Morphling, basically.
Yeah, I mean, he does have the Lincoln Sphere. It gets popped, he pops up that Hex, and boom, you're good to go. I mean, that's just a dead hero if he gets caught without any help in the Hand of God to come through and follow up. They have a lot of burst damage too with the Sonic Wave now. Sonic Wave. He also has a Shiva's Guard. They're smoking up top, and Power of Friendship will do the same down towards the bottom area. But the Fine Roche, and I imagine they will take this within 10 seconds or so.
They'll smoke to walk 4 feet.
Yeah, it's just... I mean... I don't even need to do that. They should need a D-Ward and just walk in the Roach Pit. You're going to take it fast enough as is. I mean, they don't even have to pop Exorcism. It would have been fast if they'd done that, but look how fast they take it already. God, it's freaking destroyed with no Exorcism.
Yeah.
And only a right click out of 2 heroes.
Well, it's these plus damage auras that they had. It basically really synergizes well with Morphling because the hero has so much base damage due to all of his agility. So if you have those auras by him, he gets like 180 damage from it. It's really, really strong way to integrate the 2 heroes, the Chen and the Morphling. It works out really nice.
Yeah. And now they will think about commencing the push. They still have the Exorcism, maybe wait for the next item for the Death Prophet, which is a Vitality Booster currently, and I think on the Courier. That is just a Cloak coming up for way 2. And I think that might be an Influence for him, or a Glimmer Cape, one of the 2. I have no idea, it just might be a casual Cloak. So they're going to push eventually, though.
Yeah, the issue is that they keep smoking and not finding each other, so that's why there is a little bit of downtime in the last bit of minutes here. They don't feel very comfortable moving out if they don't have a smoke up, because their opponents could have a ward there, and it could lead to them dying.
And now, Power of Friendship, they will take over the vision of the enemy jungle. They will get up an Observer Ward. Some really good defensive vision coming out from Void Boys. Is it going to be enough? We'll wait and see. The push is not coming yet, and like you mentioned, there's a bit of a slow process going on here, as there hasn't been any kills in the last, let's say roughly 5 minutes or so. That's frightening.
Might get a catch here. Oh, this is a dire ward.
They do see Omega Poner.
They could really use a gem here.
Yeah, Mari has one, but they don't have one on the Radiant
Yeah.
side.
Very typical for Mario to buy an early gem. I've been seeing quite a few other games, and he often sacrifices themselves to go for this gem.
Which I'm totally
Gives them
fine
map
with.
control.
Yeah, the map control is huge to this game, and they're going to try to choke out Void Boys. They still have the top lane to work with, so Void Boys can go out, split push, come back in. They have Boots of Travel for the Alchemist, so it's not that easily dealt with. And 2.8k mana as he continues to climb at the top of the net worth chart. He has eclipsed that of Snake King. He's now to 26,000. And where will he go next? Will he pick up... he doesn't have any room, really. I don't know if he sells his arm, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't. I think he just wait for a while.
I think he sells his armlet. It's a good item, but at the stage in the game, there's so many more expensive things he can grab.
What are you thinking? Still that Abyssal Blade?
Yeah, he definitely is going to need an Abyssal, I think. Locking down the Death Prophet, for example, is super important. Like, if he initiates with a stun and he gets a 4-second stun out of that, that means he can stun somebody for 6 seconds, basically. That kind of disable is amazing. That completely wins games.
Think he's going to go in top. He has the Skyding now done. He's got a lot of HP. He's got 1 strength morphed up, and he'll just replicate away. Back down towards bottom lane.
What?
There's going to be the Boulder Smash coming in. That'll be that.
Radiant's
God,
middle
this-
Oh, I
tower
think-
has fallen.
I think Sand King tried to do a blink burrow strike back to base, because he burrow striked from here to here. I think he was trying to go from here to here.
That's awkward.
Yeah, it was pretty weird. And they comboed it at the same time. They're just trying to slow down the push, basically.
There's the Ethereal Blade, but it goes onto a Sandstorm
dodge.
hero, so he just is able to avoid it pretty easily. There's no vision there either. Slow push continues.
Well, MJW will do some split pushing in the meantime. Some help from Morphling. And the slow siege is resuming, I guess. Still really big gold advantage for the Dire team, but the Radiant definitely can win fights if they get all their spells together.
Yeah, that's the scary thing. It's like they have a good gold advantage, but it's certainly not even close to insurmountable. Like, Void Boys can have one good fight. And that's it. Boulder Smash will go. Ush will use himself. They have the replicate back in. Fly is just going. He's going to go ahead and swap up. Ush is going to get Magic Missile. Sonic Wave will go. They have the Static Storm. They get the Hand of God off as well. They get the Send back,
the
and that's
Send back.
just not great. But no extra.
Oh, what a hex.
MGW just gets destroyed by that hex. Meanwhile, mid lane, they're going to have to TP in Snaking. The Glyph will go, but he will take this Melee Rex. There's the Burrow Strike, but it's on a Lincoln Sphere hero. He's going to replicate away, and that is it. It's just an easy split push coming out for Snaking. Sure, they lose MGW on the slaughter, but I'm sure they're absolutely okay with that.
Yeah, that Chen Senback is just so dangerous, and nobody from PoF has to die. Slaughter obviously shouldn't have gone in there, so he made a bit of a mistake, but they keep all their important heroes alive, they get a melee barracks out of that, and PoF retains their gold advantage.
Ush gets off the Yules. They're going to have the Quick Storm. They're going to have the Kinetic Field. The Spirit Siphon will go. Cat Soul's just running out of mana and HP. Test of Faith, can he get out in time? The Exorcism's coming through. There's the Boulder Smash Snaking is replicated in. He's going to get silenced up.
he
The
messed up
Ethereal
his
Blade will go.
maintenance.
Look at that damage, though. Just destroys him. The pause will fly. That's a terrible time for it. Quap lag. Oh, God. Where's the
Yeah,
Quap?
it's looking like it. She's literally standing right next to everybody here. She hasn't casted a single spell. Her blink's not on cooldown. She either walked here and stopped moving, or something. I don't see them turning this fight, though. 3 of their heroes got silenced. Their core is dead. I don't know, man. He can maybe kill Mario, but...
This might be game ending right now. This engagement.
Yeah, that Alchemist kill was really big. He will have buyback. But PoF continues to gain advantage, and they've got 4 of the top 6 heroes in terms of farm. So, it makes it tough.
I mean, if you lose 4 here, who has the buyback? Obviously, the Alch does. Everybody does, except for Fly, who will have it in 15. So they'll take a fight. They'll lose all their heroes, potentially. They can all buy back. Exorcism will go down at that point. Maybe they lose a tier 3 or the rest of that Rax spin, or they lose another Rax.
What, are you advocating the die is 5, all buy back, and then win the fight strategy?
I mean,
It
no,
doesn't
I'm not.
pay off very
I
well
mean, I think they
afterwards.
want to win this fight now, but I don't think that's a possibility. So it's unless 747 can somehow do more than enough damage to bring everybody down as he gets thumbs back. The Shivas will not go. They'll pick up yet another kill. Fly will barely survive unless Snaky can find a wave for him, but he's just actually not fast enough. On the other side, they will actually have to crop TP home. 3 buybacks. Snaky will not dive any further. The Exorcism will come to a halt here in maybe a second or two. Ush is going to get stunned up. There's the Kinetic Field. He's hexed as well. There's going to be Boulder, rather the Air Spirit getting caught with the Ethereal Blade. Sonic Wave goes, but they send out
send
Ush
back
again, and it's just they can't catch him. The Snaky will wait for him away. Void Boys might not get anything out of this other than maybe some chin creeps. That looks to be it. Maybe they get Snaking, which would be huge. He doesn't have Replicate. His Lincoln Sphere. He's got it ready. He'll get flipped. Go. Oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. Snaking. That's a sure death. Maybe not sure, but... Oh, and he gets the TP of Pat Soul just for good measure. Dear Lord.
man. That's obnoxious. He's got his combo ready to go. Not the most agility morphed here, but it's actually be a really good time to morph agility. I wonder if it costs
he
less
wants
mana.
Fly. Fly knows this is coming. Waveform's going to come through. Ethereal Blade comes out. Adaptive Strike. He actually smoked up, but he was just a little bit too close for sinking. And, well, maybe they're going to find him. Episode is going to get channeled. He's got Blink in 1, but it does no damage as he comes back.
Oh, what a sick clips.
That was... God, they can't
I don't know,
find
man.
anything, dude.
Omega Poner seems a little bit off of his comfort zone when playing Sand King here. I think he played really good in the last game on Faces Void, but his Sand King is just seeming a little off. He's not initiating with things like Epicenter, for example, and I feel like that's a bit of a mistake.
I feel as if, though, he wanted to pick up the Sand King to Epi and to get all these creeps and to Sandstorm and to maybe annoy the Chen in the jungle, but he's not had a great game. His early game was pretty bad. And his late game, his decision making is... They got a couple kills in the mid game, but late game, they're just not finding anything. So...
I mean, I don't think that's all entirely his fault. That, again, it is very hard to play offlane Sand King, but he is still neglecting to use his Epicenter, and if his team really is planning to go in, he should be the one that's anticipating that moment and channeling Epicenter to initiate with it. It's really important that you do get your Epis off in team fights, otherwise your hero is just a glorified line, like a line stun, and that's all you're accomplishing.
Yep. And right now they have 3 heroes that have just bought back. Power Friendship could wait for another Aegis. They could push right now. There is an Aghanim Scepter picked up for this Alchemist. He gifted it to who exactly? He gifted it, I think, to the Sand King, probably. Maybe actually to the Venge.
It was not.
Did he just sell it or something? Or did he... There it is. Okay, he's got it. Who's going to give it to? Gives it to the Earth Spirit because that ability is pretty crazy. And to make something into stone form is pretty damn good.
Yeah, they can save somebody with this now, either with Geomagnetic Grip or with the Enchant Remnant. They can also just grab somebody like this, like he was trying to, and kick them all the way back to their tower. And this is their moment of surprise. If their opponents don't realize that he has this yet, then they might just win an easy fight. Sending Death Prophet all the way back to their tier 4s is, as we've seen in recent tournaments, one way to win a game.
Yeah, it's kind of broken. If they weren't this far behind, I'd be like, that's pretty game winning. But... I mean, they have to have a heck of a fight after that kill. Hope the Hand of God is a little bit mistimed, or I mean, it definitely won't be, but either way.
Well, this is one way that the game is looking better for Void Boys now, is that Alchemist can't get any more farmed, but he can put... Well, that's not true. He can still buy Moon Shards and maybe an Abyssal instead of an Armlet, but the overall change in what those items will give you is not massive. He's trying to catch a hero, but he just doesn't have vision. He's so dead now.
They're going to clip him back. He's getting kinetic field. If they have Static Storm, he's going to Rolling Boulder away,
JK,
actually.
strong hero.
MJW will pop the BKB on the other side. Snaky's going to work. Now he's in trouble. There's going to be the Epicenter getting channeled. They have the Sonic Wave going. He pops the BKB, and I think this might be the end. They've lost 2. They have the buyback up. That'll be on the crop show buyback immediately. Meanwhile, Pat Soul is just... He's in no man's land right now. And they're going to try to turn on him, it looks like. And what can wait to here? Patzel just gets destroyed by the Exorcism, the Test of Faith as well. And they will continue to push high ground with no buyback for Patzel for 96. It's going to have to be one tough defense coming out for the Quap. It's not going to be easy, especially with Exorcism going for another about 10 or so seconds. That's going to be another set of racks.
Really hard game for Void Boys to take wins, but they just couldn't get the initiation. That was basically the issue all game. Their one saving grace, I think, was 747, playing Queen of Pain so well. He got a ton of kills, but they just didn't quite synergize well enough outside of that. Not very many ganks, a lot of slow prodding play, but PoF is just prodding better, and they had way more gold advantage from towers, so there's a good game called.
Yeah, and that's it. Void Boys will not make it, and not yet anyway, to the playoffs as the second member of Group C, Complexity being the first. And Group C will stay up in arms. Archon versus Power Friendship is up next to Power Friendship when they are in. Otherwise, we will go to time ratings, which is a bit anticlimactic. However, before we talk about that even further, we are going to head into our Dota 2 Canada Cup post-game report. Of course, this is here on twitch.tv/Dota2 Canada Cup. Thank you so much for supporting us here on this channel. Make sure you guys check out the ticket over in Dota TV as well. If you've enjoyed the cast, make sure you follow us on Twitter, @MottDota for myself, @PurgeGamers for Purge, and @MottPacks for MottPacks, our stats man. And we'll jump into a quick break here, about 20 seconds or so, and then we'll jump back into the post-game report.